My boyfriend picked me up from get off work in his car on a rainy day. I came to visit my aunt and accidentally soiled the seat. My boyfriend was furious. Did you make a mistake? Why didn't you tell me in advance that you were on your period? Look at the damage to my car. It's so disgusting. I clutched my stomach and explained to him with a pale face. It's probably because of the cold that my aunt was delayed. Don't be angry, just find a car wash to deal with it later. Unexpectedly, he scolded me for 10 minutes and finally pushed me into the rain and said disgustedly, "You can take a car and go, I'll wait for you at home." Watching the car drive away, I took out my mobile phone and dialed 110. "Hello, I want to call the police. My car has been stolen." 1. It was raining heavily after get off work, so I sent a message to Liam asking him to pick me up. He replied instantly, "Baby, it's not that I don't want to pick you up, but there is a heavy rain and traffic jam. It takes at least more than an hour to get from my company to your company. Can you go back by yourself? Or you can ask your colleagues if they can give you a ride." I felt very uncomfortable when I saw this familiar rhetoric. The car Liam drives now was a graduation gift from my mom. As soon as I took the car home, Liam asked me if I could let him drive the car. "Look, baby, you just got your driver's license and haven't touched a car yet. It's not safe to drive. Besides, driving by yourself is so tiring. How about I be your driver? No matter where you want to go, just a message and I will be there for you." I thought what he said made sense, so I handed him the car keys. At the beginning, he was really attentive and took me to and from get off work on time every day. No matter it was windy or rainy, he never complained. But as time went by, in the morning I would ask him to get up and take me to work, and he would complain, "It's too early. I was busy with plans last night and didn't go to bed until early in the morning. Can you take a taxi by yourself today?" I didn't think much, stretched out my hand and said, "Then give me the car keys and I'll drive myself." Unexpectedly, he was annoyed. "No, I have to go out to meet clients today. How can I get there if I give you the car? Jenna, I work so hard so that I can marry you soon. Can you be considerate of me? I have no choice but to take a taxi myself." So in the 8 years since I graduated, I have only driven a handful of times. But gradually, Liam became busier and busier, and there were more and more reasons why he couldn't pick me up. Liam may not know that it's impossible to get a taxi on such a rainy day. Colleagues have also given me rides many times, but they are not always so convenient. Of course, I would be embarrassed if the ride happened too many times. So I thought about it for a while and sent a message back to Liam. "It's okay. I just happen to be working overtime at the company. Give me a call when you get there." 2. I get off work at 5:30, and Liam arrives at 8:30. He parked his car in front of our company, but he had no intention of getting out. I looked at the pouring rain, hesitated for a few seconds, picked up my bag and rushed into the rain. By the time I got in the car, most of my clothes were already wet. My hair, which I carefully styled when I went out in the morning, was now wet from the rain. There were strands hanging on both sides of my face. I looked very embarrassed. The air conditioner in the car was on full blast, and I couldn't help but shudder. Liam turned the steering wheel and kept complaining. "I told you to take a taxi yourself. If you insist on me picking you up, if you listen to me, we will already be home by this time. Can't you be more independent like other girls? It's raining all over the city. What will happen to those who don't have boyfriends?" I pursed my lips and said nothing, turned around, put on my seatbelt, and picked up a tissue to wipe my hair. I can feel that Liam is becoming more and more impatient with me recently. No matter what I do, he doesn't like it. I feel like I can't do this well and I can't do that well either. My best friend said, "When a man starts to find faults with you, there is no doubt that there must be someone out there that he likes more, and he is just comparing you." Liam is 2 years older than me, and the company where I am interning has business dealings with them. The two got to know each other after going back and forth. It was natural for them to be together later. He is my first love. I never thought what he would do to me talk about me. For all the changes, I just think that we have been together for too long and have lost our passion. Who can guarantee that the cup of water containing love will boil forever? And we are both engaged, and the wedding is scheduled for half a year. If nothing else happens, I will be with him for the rest of my life. But now, listening to him complaining as always, I feel an unknown fire coming out of my heart, and my lower abdomen is aching. After a while, the pain became more and more severe. I almost curled up in my seat, and Liam never focused on me, not even for a second. After a while, a familiar heat flowed through his body. It seems that the cold caused my aunt to come early. Since my menarche, my menstrual flow has been extremely heavy every month, and the pain has been excruciating. When I was at home, my mother would remember my menstrual period and would give me various tonics to warm me up a few days before menstruation to relieve my pain. After getting together with Liam, he had been obsessed with this matter for 2 years. But as we all get busier and busier at work, this matter has been forgotten. Adults have their own things to deal with, so I followed the prescriptions prescribed by Chinese medicine and took care of myself. This time it happened suddenly, and the familiar pain washed over me like a tide. I quickly held my stomach and called him. "Pull over and stop the car. I'm here to see if there is a bathroom nearby." 3. Liam pulled over to the side of the road. I stood up and saw that the situation was worse than I imagined. Not only the pants, but also the seat was stained with a small stain of blood. And as my body twisted, I could feel the blood pouring out. There is nothing I can do about this situation now. I am planning to put a tissue on the seat and deal with it when I get home. Liam exploded. He stared at the blood stain in disbelief. "Did you make a mistake? Why didn't you tell me before you got your period? Look at what happened to my car. It's so disgusting. Nausea." This is the first time in my 30 years of life that someone has called me disgusting. An unprecedented feeling of embarrassment came over me. In addition, there is also chilling. I held back my grievance and explained to him, "I probably came early because I caught a cold. It's okay. I'll just find a car wash to take care of it later. I think this is the best way to handle it. Now I just want to go home quickly, take a shower, drink a cup of hot ginger tea, and then get into bed." Unexpectedly, Liam was still reluctant. "You think you can just wash the car? Did you know that the smell will always be in the car? That's so stupid." Liam glanced at me and omitted the middle word, but I still knew what he meant from the shape of his mouth. I was already shaking all over in pain, so I asked him, "What should I do now? I'm in so much pain, and you still want to discuss with me whether I should have my period. And why are you blaming me? My mother bought me this car and I don't even care. Why are you feeling so distressed?" These words probably hit a sore spot in Liam's mind. Liam looked at me with wide eyes, his cheeks flushed. After a while, he unbuckled his seatbelt and got out of the car. The next second, the passenger door was opened. He threw me an umbrella and pulled me out of my seat with his hands. I was on the verge of collapse, completely at his mercy like a puppet. There was undisguised disgust on Liam's face. "You can take a taxi back. I'll wait for you at home." He got into the car without saying a word, stepped on the accelerator, and the car sped away, quickly disappearing into the traffic. I was left alone with my bag, standing stunned in the rain. The car passed by quickly and water splashed all over me. I never expected that on a rainy day when I was experiencing menstrual cramps, in the middle of traffic. Liam would be so mad that he threw me out of the car. But I didn't even have the energy to scold him. Now my lower abdomen feels like a hand is stirring it, and all my internal organs are cramping with pain. The pain made me bend down unconsciously. Suddenly everything went dark and I didn't know anything. 4. Woke up again in the hospital. It turned out that a kind aunt drove by and took me to the hospital. This kind aunt, not only after I was sent to the hospital, they thoughtfully ordered me some hot porridge to warm me up. I'm a little embarrassed. After all, I was quite embarrassed at the time, with all kinds of sewage and blood mixed with my body, and I must have soiled other people's cars. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for staining your car. How about we add your contact information, and I'll transfer the car wash fee to you." Unexpectedly, the other party refused. The aunt waved her hand proudly. "It's okay. It won't cost much to wash the car. Besides, every girl has special moments. At that time, you fainted there alone, a skinny little ball. It's so dangerous with the traffic on this rainy day. It was fate that we met. You can add your contact information, but there is no need for car wash fees." Speaking of this, Auntie was a little confused. "Girl, why don't you take a taxi on this rainy day? No matter what, your health is the most important thing. The doctor just told me that your health is not good to begin with, and you have been in the rain for so long today. If you don't take good care of yourself, it will affect your fertility in the future. I didn't know how to explain it to her, so I could only lower my head and drink the porridge in silence. Auntie's concerned tone reminded me of my mother. How heartbroken she would be if she knew I was left on the road by Liam. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but feel sour in my nose, and tears were about to fall. My aunt still had something to do. Seeing that I was fine, she gave me some instructions and left. After a while, Liam's call came in. I just felt like I had a splitting headache, and all I could think about was the scene where Liam threw me out of the car. I put my phone on silent. Liam persevered and fought more than 60 times. When the phone rang for the 69th time, I answered the call. Hello. Jenna, can you stop being willful? Look at what time it is. You haven't come home yet, and you haven't answered the phone. Do you know how anxious I am? I gave a sneer. What do you want from me? Liam seemed not to hear the coldness in my words and sighed. I won't argue with you about this matter for now. My mother is here to see you. You will come back and cook for her right now. Don't show your face when you enter the house, lest my mother worry again and think that we have quarreled. 5. Liam is a single parent. His father died unexpectedly when he was 4 years old, and it was his mother who worked hard to raise him. Therefore, after we got engaged, he proposed to take over his mother to take care of her after marriage. He said, "My mother has worked hard for more than 20 years, and now it's time for us to be filial to her." But he was busy with work, so I took care of him every time he came over. What's even worse is that his mother and I have completely different living habits and we can't get along at all. Liam and I don't know how to cook. We usually eat in the cafeteria at noon and just order takeout in the evening. But Liam's mother said that she couldn't get used to eating outside and wanted to eat something simple at home. I have no choice but to bite the bullet. Liam fucking demanded that I kneel on the floor and mop the floor so it would be clean. As a wife, I should get up early every day and prepare breakfast so that my husband can have breakfast when he gets up. This can improve family happiness. She used her more than 40 years of experience to teach me. Sweeping robots and dishwashers, those gadgets are all lies. You are the only ones who are stupid and have a lot of money. Doing housework is naturally what women should do. I'm teaching you this for your own good. Every time they pretended to come to see me and take care of me, they actually exhausted me to death. Now Liam comes over about once every half a month, and I can't stand it anymore. So if we live together and we don't see each other every day, then why don't we start a fight? In order to avoid further conflicts, I suggested that we rent a house in the same community and we would pay the rent. But Liam said, "No, my mother is just waiting for us to get married and live in a new house. What kind of news would it spread like this?" 3 hours ago, Liam left me on the street. In the meantime, he ignored me. Now he still pretends that nothing happened and wants me to go back and cook for his mother. For the first time, I reflected on myself as to why I had to humble myself so much. Over the years that I have been with Liam, I have been too tolerant of him. When conflicts arise, I always think that it is better to do less than to do more. Just like my parents, they have been bickering for a lifetime, isn't it sweet? I forgot that although my parents love to quarrel, almost every time it is my father who first lowers his head to coax his mother, and then analyzes the right and wrong for her later. But Liam treats everything almost coldly. Every time there was a quarrel, he had to distinguish right from wrong. In the end, I couldn't bear it anymore and bowed my head first to admit his mistake. Maybe it was the rain that was so cold and biting that I woke up completely. I took a deep breath and said to Liam, who was chattering on the other end of the phone, "Let's break up. You return the car and decoration money to me, and I will return the 88,000 yuan gift and 20,000 yuan in gold from your family." There was silence for a few seconds, and then Liam asked incredulously, "Jenna, is there something wrong with your brain? Are you going to break up with me just because of such a trivial matter?" "Yes, just because of such a trivial matter." To this day, Liam still thinks that throwing me under the bus is just a small thing. I should endure the pain and take a taxi home, and then cook a full meal for mother and son. Liam wanted to say something else, but was interrupted by an old female voice. "Son, if she wants to break up, let's break up with her. I told you a long time ago that you can't tolerate this wife, and now she can shit on your head. It's okay to break up. The bride price and 3 gold coins must be returned. Don't even think about the car and decoration money. Don't be stupid. She initiated the breakup herself. She has delayed your youth for so many years. This little money should be regarded as a gift to us. Damage fee. 6. Liam pondered for a few seconds and then said, Jenna, you really went too far this time. My mother is your elder no matter what, and you don't even come to take a look. From what I know about Liam, when he avoids a topic, he will change the topic like he is doing now and try to whitewash the situation. In the past, I could turn a blind eye and not care about it. But now I interrupted him impatiently. Yes, I went too far, so break up and return the car and money to me. Liam choked on me. Why do you talk about money now? When did you become so realistic? Let me tell you. I sneered, feeling that I want my money back is the reality. Yes, you are unrealistic, you are the most noble, so when will you return the money to me? The decoration fund is 600,000 yuan in total. I will give you a week to raise it. As for the car, I want to use it now. Please send me the car. Liam may have realized that I was serious this time, so his tone softened a lot. Isn't it because I didn't pick you up?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Where are you now? I'll pick you up. Liam still feels that it was just a small thing for him to throw me under the bus. I'm the one making a fuss out of a molehill. For such a person, I don't even bother to explain to him. No, I just want a car. My mother bought it for me. You have been driving it for 5 years. I have paid for the maintenance and various expenses of the car during these 5 years. For the sake of our long-term relationship, I won't ask you for vehicle usage fees. I should have said these words to him a long time ago, and I have made myself suffer for so many years in vain. My mother bought the car, but I had no right to use it. I was even thrown out of the car if I disagreed. Liam made a down payment of 300,000 yuan for the house, wiping out all his savings over the years. The renovation money we spent on our home was 600,000 yuan. As a result, Liam's mother always gets angry every time I come here and I live in his son's house. Whoever likes to suffer these grievances, I can't bear it anyway. I thought I was talking about this. Liam is also a highly educated intellectual after all, so the two of us should be able to get together easily without causing too much embarrassment. But Liam's mother's sharp voice sounded again on the other side of the phone. You little bitch who fell into the eyes of money, who do you think you are? How can my son drive your car? Even if your parents die, your property should be inherited by our Liam family. Liam's fucking voice was intermittent, interspersed with Liam's voice trying to stop her. The more his mother spoke, the more excited she got, and finally she said, I won't give you anything you don't know the heavens and the earth. What can you do to me? If you have the ability, go call the police. She didn't give me a chance to yell back, and the call was hung up. I was so angry that I was shaking all over, and the more I thought about it, the angrier I became. Finally, he took out his mobile phone and dialed 110. Hey, police? I want to call the police. My car was stolen. 7. I gave the details of the vehicle to the police. Soon, the police called and told me that the car had been found. At the same time, the suspect who stole my car was also taken to the police station. They asked me to come over and find out what was going on. It wasn't until we were pulled to the police station that Liam and his mother realized that I really wasn't joking. To my surprise, my parents were also there. No need to think about it, it must be Liam's complaint. He looked at me in disbelief and was heartbroken. What about Jenna? Just because I didn't pick you up, you're going to call the police on me? I didn't look at him seriously the whole time, I just said firmly, as for that. Liam fucking wanted to eat me alive, spitting out all kinds of sweet things. You little whore. You have a mother but not a mother. If you dare to call the police on my son, you will be punished sooner or later. The police frowned when they heard this. Although my mother hadn't figured out the facts yet, she still stood firmly on my side and started scolding Liam's mother. When it comes to swearing, my mother has set a record of no more than 3 hours of swearing. In our 2 streets, almost no one dared to mess with my mother. In the end, the police couldn't stand it anymore and separated the two. The policeman advised, that's someone else's car. If we break up, we'll give it back to them. It'll make both parties look bad. What's her car? They're both engaged, so it's my son's car. Liam wouldn't give up and kept talking nonsense. The police asked her out directly. After the world was cleansed, my dad asked Liam with a livid face. Liam, what the hell is going on? My dad is a university professor and has always been gentle and elegant. He rarely gets angry like this. Liam lowered his head and did not dare to look at my dad. Dad, Jenna and I just had a quarrel. You know Jenna's temperament has always been spoiled. My dad snorted coldly. I know the character of the daughter I raised. I understand what you said. Jenna is my baby that I have carefully raised for more than 20 years. Since I was a child, I have been reluctant to let her suffer at all. I would rather suffer the hardship myself. I didn't expect that when I handed my daughter over to you, you would treat her like this. Since Jenna wants to break up, we as parents support her decision. Liam's face turned pale and he kept explaining. No, I didn't mean it that day. Under the witness of the police, Liam handed over the car keys. Although he was reluctant, he could still tell whether a car was more important than his reputation and future. This car was originally in my name. There was no dispute after handing over the car keys. It's just that this decoration style is difficult to deal with. Everyone who gets married is aiming to live a good life, but who knew that Liam would do something like this in the end? But it doesn't matter. Out of professional habit, I recorded all the invoices and various receipts during the renovation. Although it is a bit troublesome, I will get the money back sooner or later. When we came out of the police station, it was raining heavily outside. I got into the driver's seat. I have to say it feels really good to be behind the wheel myself. Liam and his son stood under the eaves with sad faces. As they drove by, I opened the car window and told them thoughtfully, it's hard to take a taxi on a rainy day. You have to queue for at least 2 or 3 hours. Just wait patiently. 8. When I got back to my home, my mother took good care of me. After learning that Liam and I had suffered so much together, she couldn't help but shed tears. I haven't even asked you to cook anything while you were at home. We're not even married yet, so I'm going to let you. The old lady takes care of her. Liam is such a wolf-hearted thing. When he first pursued you, his words were better than his singing. It didn't take long for him to show his true colors. My dad came out from the kitchen with a bowl of freshly cooked chicken soup, sighed at my mom, then immediately put on his fatherly face and said, Quick, drink it while it's hot. While I was immersed in drinking soup, my dad pulled my mom into the room. You should talk less. The child is feeling uncomfortable right now. After all, the two of us have been dating for 7 or 8 years. Even if we have a dog, we still have feelings for each other. What if Jenna can't think about it and is stimulated? The mother clicked her tongue impatiently and answered, As a mother, I know Jenna's temper best. Don't think she broke up suddenly that day. In fact, she had already imagined this scene countless times. Yes, do you understand? My dad said naively. I don't understand. I smiled knowingly outside the house. My mother was right. Leaving is never sudden. But because we have accumulated enough disappointment. In my world, I have thought about breaking up with Liam countless times. Those times he used overtime as an excuse to leave me alone to face the fuck. When I felt wronged and wanted to talk to him, but he pulled me into distinguishing right from wrong. Every moment I need him but can't find him. So when the day came to actually leave, I was able to accept it calmly. I called a moving company and moved all my personal belongings out of that home. When the master came in, Liam's mother was also at home. She followed him all the way and was always vigilant. I'm afraid I've taken one more thing that doesn't belong to me. I ordered the master to move here and there. Seeing the huge house becoming increasingly empty, Liam's face turned pale. She shouted distressfully, Damn it, you are robbing me. This is my son's hard-earned family property. What qualifications do you have to take it away? Call the police. I want to call the police. I spread my hands and said, It's up to you. Then continued to direct the masters to move things. Liam had a dark face, but he didn't hold back in the end. He raised his head and asked me, Do you have to do it so cruelly? We can still be friends even if we break up. I dusted off the dust on my clothes and said casually, I, Jenna, don't need friends that much. You'd better pay me back the money as soon as possible. We don't owe each other anything. Oh, by the way, please get up. I bought the chair you are sitting on. Master, please move this dining table set for me too. Liam twitched his lips. His mother was so angry that she gasped, but her mouth was still stiff. You are making such an ugly scene now, don't regret it in the future. Even if you kneel down to beg my son, I will not allow you to enter our house again. I want to see if anyone dares to take you for a guy like you who has been slept on. I won't pay you back. Anyway, the house is in my son's name. My son will get married and have children in this house in the future. What do you think? I'll make you mad. I looked around and saw that this small home that I had built little by little with my own hands had been destroyed by Liam. I clapped my hands and said to the masters, I will move all the furniture that can be moved, and smash all the furniture that cannot be moved. The master looked at the warm house and hesitated. Smashed it? To what extent? Whatever the rough shape looks like, it will be smashed into what it looks like. Liam is fucking stupid. He rushed forward to stop him, but the sledgehammer had no eyes, so he couldn't tell whether it hit the wall or the head when the hammer hit him. Liam dragged his mother out. After a few hours, the house was almost reduced to a rough house. The mother and son looked at the devastated house and did not come back to their senses for a long time. 9. After the house problem was solved, I returned the bride price and 3 gold coins to Liam. Originally, I thought that this matter would be over completely and I could live a peaceful life from now on. Unexpectedly, Liam came after my company. This time she changed her arrogant and domineering nature and sat at the door of the office wiping tears. Jenna, you suddenly wanted to break up without any reason. You didn't return the bride price to our family. You just destroyed the house if you wanted to. You also asked us to give you 600,000 yuan for decoration. Where did you get that much money? In order to marry you, our family paid a betrothal gift and 3 gold coins. We also bought a house according to your request. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, and the whole family was completely drained. I know you look down on our family and think our family's conditions are not good, but my son has been very obedient to you over the years. Why did you break up right away? The door of the office was already crowded with people, and everyone craned their heads to eat. At this time, a charming voice came from the crowd. I remember Sister Jenna's boyfriend was very kind to her. He would pick her up and drop her off no matter it was raining or winding. Isn't there someone else outside? I see that she is dressed up all day long. Most of the people in our company are girls. Who do you think she is dressing up like that for? The melon-eating crowd took a breath of cold air at these words. It's a matter of course, but after all, we are colleagues who get along with each other all day long. Even if we don't like each other, we can just talk about it in private. Who would criticize someone in person? The speaker was Kate, an intern who had just joined the company in the first half of the year. She never gets along with me. I don't know how I offended her. From the day she came to the company, she has been acting strangely towards me all day long. At first I thought she was just a graduate who had just stepped out of society, so I didn't take it to heart. But now, when Liam saw someone speaking for her, his back immediately straightened a lot. Jenna, your colleagues have said this. You must have done something to feel sorry for my son, so you are so anxious to break up and cancel the engagement. You can't be so fast-paced as a human being. You will be punished. Kate helped Liam up from the ground. She frowned and spoke in a cold tone. Sister Jenna, don't blame me for talking too much. I've never been a person who helps with matters. I saw you clearly coming from last time. A man got out of his car, and the two of them were very close. Is that why you broke up with your boyfriend? Girls, please don't be too realistic. True love is something that no amount of money can buy. How can you hurt someone who loves you like this? I watched her performance with cold eyes, pointed at Liam's mother next to her, and asked in confusion, You are speaking for her like this? Is she your mother? 10. Colleagues burst into laughter. Kate's smiling face turned red and she said shyly, What are you talking about? I am speaking out for justice and I don't want anyone to bully others. Oh, then by speaking for her like this, is it because you have a crush on his son? Other than that, I can't think of any reason. Meeting my playful gaze, Kate became angry and said, You were eating the food in the bowl and looking at the food in the pot, and you were pouring dirty water on me. If I look at it, the outfit you are wearing costs a lot of money, right? You must have gotten it by working as a mistress for an old man. I advise you to wake up early. Being a mistress will not end well. If you are pretty, why can't you make money on your own? You have to be disgusting. As soon as these words were spoken, someone had quietly returned to his workstation, pretending to be aloof from the incident. Others clasped their little hands with excitement beyond words. Liam looked at the tense atmosphere, grabbed Kate's hand and sighed. "Girl, thank you for speaking for me. I think you are much better than this, Jenna." Kate's face showed a strange blush. I waited for them to finish their performance before continuing to speak. "Tell me clearly and vividly how Liam threw me out of the car that day." I clearly saw someone clenching their fists and gritting their teeth. As for the betrothal gift they mentioned, it was only 88,000 yuan. Later, Liam's mother even borrowed 50,000 yuan back for medical treatment, which means that the real gift in my hands is only 38,000 yuan. Not to mention the house. Liam paid 300,000 for the down payment and I paid 600,000 for the renovation. My name is not even on the house book. Isn't it obvious who is taking advantage of whom? I don't have to take the 38,000 yuan as a gift. As long as my ex-boyfriend returns the decoration fee to me, I can transfer the money back at any time. There is no proof for what I said, so I handed over the transfer information and invoices. The data is displayed one by one. People who eat melons are not fools either. You can tell at a glance that Liam is a thief and shouting, "Catch the thief." How shameless! Not to mention 88,000, I thought Jenna asked their family for a sky-high betrothal gift. Asking the woman to pay for the renovation and not even adding her name makes my abacus fly in my face. At this time, his mother curled up and lowered her head, trying to reduce her presence. Kate bit her lip and glared at me fiercely. "So what? This doesn't affect the fact that you work as a mistress for others. Your car costs 700,000 or 800,000. Can you afford it?" I shook my head helplessly. Some people really don't shed tears until they see the coffin. I took out a screenshot of the video and put it in front of everyone. Let's see, who is the mistress? 11. In the photo, a man and woman are kissing in a car. In one photo, a man's hand even reached into the hem of a woman's dress. Look at her face again. Why does this woman look so familiar? The melon-eating crowd looked at each other. Not sure, check again. Until someone exclaimed, "Holy crap! Isn't this Kate?" Kate covered her face and screamed, "Ah!" She rushed up to grab my phone, but I dodged it. As you can see, the man in the photo is my ex-boyfriend, Liam. This set of photos was copied from the driving recorder. It can be considered an unexpected surprise. After getting the car from Liam, I sent the car to the 4S shop for maintenance. By the way, check to see if there are any scratches on the car. One day the staff at the 4S store called me while hesitating. "Sister, we found something in your car. You'd better come over and take a look yourself." Half an hour later, I watched the entire video in the 4S store with no expression on my face. Liam and Kate hooked up together at some point. The two of them were still having sex in my car. At the last moment, Kate even deliberately asked Liam, "How about me or that old woman Jenna, who can make you happy?" How disgusting. Thinking about it later, Liam finally had a reason for being picky about me during that time. Because of the comparison with Kate, a rose, I became like a grain of rice sticky on my clothes. Men have never been so realistic. Back to the present, I looked coldly at Kate, who was on the verge of collapse, and asked, "Kate, I think it's normal for you to go astray because you are young and have not experienced temptation. I didn't want to embarrass you. But today, you are the one who brought shame on yourself. Come up and let me hit you." Colleagues present also targeted her. After all, I have such irrefutable proof that even if she had 8 mouths, she wouldn't be able to explain it clearly. She screamed and rushed towards me. "Oh, you bitch, I'm going to kill you." Unfortunately, she couldn't even touch my clothes before someone grabbed her wrist. "What are you crazy about? Aren't you embarrassed enough?" The person who came was none other than Liam. His brows were furrowed and his face looked as haggard as I had ever seen. However, when I saw the person standing behind Liam, I understood everything. 12. Kate also saw the man in a suit behind her. A crazy smile appeared on her face. "It's you. Look, this is Jenna's adulterer." The man looked to be nearly 40 years old, with a very handsome face, but he was unsmiling, and his whole body exuded the aura of being unfriendly to strangers. Someone whispered, "Damn you, boss, this damn girl Jenna eats too well." I couldn't help but hold my forehead and smile bitterly. Where is this? When Liam's mother saw the adulterer appearing, she became energetic again and said angrily, "Son, Jenna really cheated on you. We have to ask her for mental damages." Liam had just subdued Kate and was about to collapse when he heard his mother say these words. But the man in the suit spoke. "Liam, why didn't I know when I became my niece's adulterer?" I had no choice but to say, "Uncle, stop joking." As soon as these words came out, Kate and Liam's expressions changed at the same time, and they murmured, "How is it possible? How is it possible?" Liam collapsed completely. "It's all because of you. What are you doing to mess with Jenna? This is the boss of our company, Jenna. His biological niece. I've been fired now. I have nothing left. It's all because of you. The boss of Liam's company is my uncle, and no one knows about this. When I joined our company as an intern, my uncle sent me here. Our company and my uncle's company are competitors. I don't know what's in his mind, but he actually wants me, a recent graduate, to steal business secrets for him. As a result, before the secret came into contact, he had an affair with the boss of our company. Maybe it's the sympathy between the strong. Our boss became my little aunt. In summary, apart from his own abilities, the reason why Liam has been able to go smoothly these years is mostly because I said good things to him in front of my uncle. My uncle only cares about me as his niece, so what else can he do? Teen. Liam and Kate were both fired. If Liam and I get married successfully, the position of general manager will be his. I will tell him my real family situation. From now on, our lives will be secure. It's a pity that Liam couldn't go to the end with me. Fortunately, Liam didn't make it to the end with me. Later, I heard that he and Kate were married. Fengzi gets married. Kate really loves Liam and will marry him even if he has nothing. Liam was originally reluctant, but his mother forced him to die. You are already in your 30s, and other people at your age can take care of their children. I don't care, this child must be born. Liam is a filial son and had no choice but to compromise in the end. He has only one request for Kate, to take good care of his mother, who is not easy to do. The wedding room was still the same semi-furnished room. I just painted a little bit, bought some furniture and continued living. Since being fired, Liam has been in a state of despair. All he could think about was going back to the days when he had everything he could do. So if you can't achieve high things, you can't do low things. In order to support his family, he randomly found a company to do technology, doing 3 times more work than before, and earning a salary of 3,000 yuan. After the child is born, milk powder, diapers, and everything else cost money. Gradually, Kate's mentality changed. She called Liam a wimp who couldn't even raise a child. Liam complained that Kate had seduced him in the first place. Every time afterward, he would ask Kate to remember to take medicine, but Kate lied to him. Liam's mother was so tired with her child that her old bones were almost falling apart, and she had no patience for her son. The job that was so good at the beginning is gone. Liam is like a cat whose tail has been stepped on. You still have the nerve to say that? If you hadn't made trouble, would I be like this? If I were still with Jenna now, I would already be the general manager of the company, with an annual salary of at least 1 million. Liam muttered. Why do you blame me? Isn't it because you cheated? Liam's life is a mess. Finally, late one night, he jumped from the 18th floor. 1 minute before jumping off the building, he sent me a text message. Jenna, I am sorry for you in this life. If there is an afterlife, I will definitely treat you well. I shivered in my sleep, and a pair of big hands immediately pulled me into a hug. The man patted me gently. Did you have a nightmare? I shook my head and fell asleep peacefully in his arms. Extra. Liam was lucky enough to jump off the 18th floor without dying. After being rescued in the hospital for more than a month and undergoing more than a dozen operations, he finally saved his life. Too bad he could never stand up again. All paralysis from the neck down. After Kate heard the news, she dropped the child and ran away. Only Liam's mother is left, who has never had an easy life. She has to take care of both the younger ones and the older ones. After leaving Liam, my life was calm and relaxed. I don't need to second-guess anyone else's thoughts. On rainy days, I can go home alone without anyone to pick me up. I forgot to mention that I got married 3 years after I broke up with Liam. Coincidentally, the target was the son of the kind aunt back then. After we got married, my husband was very good to me, not to mention my mother-in-law, who treated me like her own daughter. That rain made me see Liam clearly. It also allowed me to meet my destiny. Everything is the best arrangement.